16, turn me up.
Just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Matt and Brian back for another edition of the podcast. Y'all are here. We're ready to go. Brian's pissed. I'm locked in. What you know about it? Brian, how you feeling tonight, man? You feeling good or not too much?
Yeah, well, I wanted Max Homa to win the Masters, and he choked. But what else is new? See the Mets have it.
Well, Scotty Scheffler, he's the best player in the world. He's the best player in the world. And to your point, I was on Max Homa as well. But it didn't happen, right? A lot of things don't happen. But Max Homa didn't get it done. Scotty Scheffler, best player in the world. Absolutely. It's a Masters show. It's the Views from Section 400. And I'm fired up to be here, dude. What was your first take from the Masters, dude? Like, Tiger obviously was nowhere to be found, but we all expected that. He had nowhere to be. But the one thing that I saw, Scotty Scheffler, he just gets it done, dude. The guy just gets it done.
Yeah, the fourth youngest player to ever win two Masters behind Tiger, Jack Nicklaus, and Steve Ballesteros, who I'd never heard of. But, I mean, Nicklaus and Woods, pretty good company there. And he's only 27, like you said earlier today, barely older than we are, which is kind of crazy.
27, dude. 27. Same age as us. And he's getting it done for the second time, which a lot of people aren't too expected to. Like, right? Like, a lot of people are like, usually you're a little older. And we think we're accustomed to people who or major sports is NFL, NBA, MLB, and all those guys are in their mid-20s. So you see Scotty Scheffler in his mid-20s, 27 years old, getting a job done, dude. Isn't that unbelievable?
Yeah, he's about to have a kid. That makes it even more impressive. Really, he was back of his mind. I think his wife's still a couple months, at least a month till she's due, but still back of his mind, he might have to leave the course to go see the birth of his kid.
I don't understand how he got that done. Wife's expecting a kid. He's the same. I can't even think of having a kid right now. And that's what Scotty Scheffler's doing. Having a kid, winning the Masters for a second time. So that's how we're opening this show up, because Scotty Scheffler is the Masters champion again.
Number one player in the world. He's probably going to get a third. Could get a third before he's 30. And then you said it earlier today that
I was just going to bring that up.
Maybe it comes up him versus Tiger Woods, that discussion.
Nobody wants to talk about it. I hate to be the guy that brings it up. I know I might not have the greatest takes. We haven't talked about it in a while. I know. McNeese State, horrible take. This might be up there with it. But I think Scotty Scheffler is better than Tiger Woods. A lot of people are not going to agree with me, and I don't expect them to. But we'll revisit this receipt down the line, 10 years down the line, when Scotty Scheffler's got 5 green jackets on. I think that's exactly what it is. But either way, Masters is over. I'm pretty annoyed that it's done. But it's an awesome weekend, dude. It's an awesome weekend.
Yeah,
the Mets weekend.
They did well. They won another series. They've won 3 series in a row. I had them on. It was the Dwight Gooden's jersey retirement day, so I had them on while I was watching Tiger and Rory just shoot bogey after bogey. That was really depressing. The Sunday morning tee-off, guys, that was pretty depressing to watch.
That was horrible.
And we thought we'd have a good showdown at the end, but Scheffler just pulled away. But yeah, the Mets are playing well, but we'll get to them later.
Scheffler pulled away. Let's talk about Ludwig Aberg for a second. That guy was the only one who had a chance, right? Like, he was the only one who kept pace. Homa was there, but he fell apart at the end.
Yeah, the double bogey on the 3 really killed Homa.
Like, you texted me earlier, you were like, the fucking Bushes. And the Bushes played a big part in Homa's downfall. The Bushes played a huge a huge problem in Homa's downfall. But he was there. He was there all weekend. A lot of people were like, everybody's working for the weekend. At least Homa got to the weekend. Couldn't carry it into Sunday. He tried so hard, couldn't get there.
Yeah, we already did winners and losers in the last show, but the course was a big winner this weekend. We talked about the bushes.
Oh my God, the bushes were unbelievable. Reading the greens, if I ever had to play those greens, I would be. People talk about being a scratch golfer. I would be so bad, so bad. I if I if I can shoot 100 for a round, I'm happy. I think I might have shot 150.
I mean, I think I would probably shoot a 200. Did you see the one reporter at the start of the weekend asked Koepka if he could shoot a 59? And Koepka was just like, that's the dumbest question I've ever heard.
Nobody even sniffed a 59. Why would that even be a question by the reporter? Why would that even be a question?
I think there were like 2 rounds under 69 in the whole weekend.
Dude, people can barely scratch golf at this course. And I understand people are like -7, -6, whatever. Dumbest question they could have asked. Dumbest question they could have asked. But we'll get into the Michael of the week at the end of the show. We're going to start this one out. Obviously, Masters talk, as you just heard the dialogue, to jump into the front of the show. But I think we need to jump into some NBA, man. Play-in tournament is right on the cards. Obviously, you know, I'm locked in to Embiid and the Sixers, who are going to win it all, by the way. But we'll wait and see what Brian has to say about that. But who's winning the West?
Well, before we get into the West, we might as well get right into the Sixers here. So if things shake out by the seeding in the play-in, so if the Sixers win the play-in and get to 7, they're gonna play the New York Knicks in the first round. And I know the Knicks aren't on my big list of New York teams, but I'm gonna have to bandwagon the Knicks in that first round. The Knicks
it's gonna be awesome, dude.
They won that meaningless game today against the Bulls to pass the Bucks to get the 2 seed, which, I mean, I think you'd rather play the Pacers than the Sixers.
You do not want to play the Sixers in the first round. And I said this on a previous podcast. The Sixers are severely underseeded. And I understand nobody's making the seeding, right? Your record is what your records say it is. But the Sixers are going to go all the way. Why? Because Embiid's healthy. He has all the tools necessary to get it done. And a lot of people are like, oh, Jason Tatum, oh, Giannis. Giannis has done it. Tatum hasn't. So I'm not worried about the Celtics. I'm not worried. The Celtics just signed Drew Holiday to a 3-year, 4-year, $200 million, $175 million contract. Guy's 35 years old. Nobody cares about Drew Holiday anymore. I remember him. I was 12 years old when he was on the Sixers. I'm 26. He's toast. Not worried about the Celtics. Not worried about the Bucks because the Sixers match up very well against the Bucks. I'm locked in on the Sixers. Why? Because Embiid's healthy. He has a supporting cast, and he's going to get it done.
Yeah, Drew Holiday was back there when Tony Roten was his backcourt mate during the trust the process days.
Exactly.
But yeah,
he's a trust the process guy.
I like Drew Holiday. I know he's getting up there, but he's still
a good guy.
I believe you took his prop bet to make a 3 on one of the Bulmus episodes, thinking he was on the Bucks still.
I didn't even know what team he played for.
I mean, I don't blame you. The NBA, this is really when the NBA gets good. And even then, like these first round series, you don't really expect much.
How can you expect much when nobody knows what's going on the whole year?
Except we did pick our future team, the Thunder, and we kept eye on them all year. They got the 1 seed, so they have conquered the West, and they will be the 1 seed.
So the Thunder will get the 1 seed. So where do the Timberwolves fall in?
So they'll be the 3 playing the 6 seed Suns, and they got blown out by the Suns actually on the last game of the regular season. So
they'll probably lose round 1.
I think they're cooked.
They're cooked round 1. So the Timberwolves, who were 1 seed all year long, and again, unbelievable year by them. right? Like they came out of nowhere, got Rudy Gobert, COVID guy, but they're probably losing round one.
That Rudy Gobert COVID was wild. That was like the last time sports took center stage for like the world news. Like Scott Van Pelt was telling the world that that the world was about to shut down because Rudy Gobert touched a bunch of microphones.
He's like, dude, Rudy Gobert, this and that. And then the more wild part about it was like, oh, Rudy Gobert next day test positive. Was that like you think they just let that happen? Like the NBA was like, oh, we have to pin this guy as the fall guy.
They had to, right?
They
And
had to.
they quarantined those two teams after the game, and they couldn't leave. They were in the stadium till like 4 a.m.
Till 4 a.m. Nobody could leave. They let all the fans leave. None of the players could leave. And then they did the Mickey Mouse, this and that, Orlando bubble, Disneyland thing, whatever. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the NBA playoffs. Sixers are going all the way. They're going to beat the Hawks. Or no, they don't. The Hawks aren't even going to make it.
The Hawks are
have
the 10. So they'll play the Heat in the first round, in the first play-in, and if they win that, they'll be the 7th seed.
no. Don't the Sixers have to play? The Sixers have to play the Heat.
Yeah, the Sixers will play the Heat, and the winner gets the
No.
7, and then the loser plays the winner of the 9 and 10 game for the 8 seed.
So the Sixers will get the 7. The Heat will play probably the Hawks or whoever's the 9 seed. Who is it?
It's not the Nets. It's the Bulls.
The Bulls. So, dude, the Bulls might win that.
The Bulls are so bad, man.
They are bad. They are bad. But DeRozan might be able to take over that game. In a one game shot.
I still trust Jimmy over DeRozan.
Yeah, I don't think that's not a bad take. But I don't hate the Bulls in a one game shot. Either way, Zach LaVine's done for the year. He's not going to be on the court. But Sixers taking on the Knicks in the first round, if that's what's on the cards, I understand the Knicks had a great year. I understand. And it's basically a Villanova team.
It is.
It's basically Nova 2.0. But Sixers are winning that easily. If you're a Knicks fan, and I understand you can be delusional as I am as a Sixers fan, I understand you can be delusional about them. But the Sixers are winning that series without a doubt. Might sweep them, might be a gentleman's sweep, but it's going to be a sweep. Either way, Sixers are winning it all. They're beating the Celtics. They're beating the Bucks. They're beating whoever they have to go against because Embiid has never been this healthy for a playoff run.
I guess. How do you define health? Just the fact he hasn't played?
The fact he hasn't played and now he's healthy.
Yeah. I can't really trust him to if he can stay healthy and somehow someone has to make shots besides him, and it can't just be Maxey because he's going to get doubled and tripled in the playoffs.
100%. But they have Kelly Oubre. They have Batum. Batum is a glue guy. A glue guy.
I think that's your issue right there. Your second guy you went to was Nicholas Batum.
Well, that's the only guy I can think of off the top of my head. But Batum is definitely a glue guy. Either way, Oubre can make shots.
Yeah.
And you don't disagree with that.
Oubre
can make shots. So
he can make shots, but he'll miss a lot of shots too.
Who's gonna match up? Who's gonna match up with the Sixers? Who's beating the Sixers? You tell me, Brian.
The Bucks or the Celtics?
Why?
Because the Giannis can match up well with Embiid, and the Celtics have a much better all-around team.
They do. They have a good team, but I think the Sixers match up better with them, dude. Nobody takes. Okay, I'll ask you this: who do you like, Tatum or Embiid?
Yes, Embiid.
Guess Embiid. You're all in on the Celtics, and now you guess Embiid.
Well, I don't like Tatum. That's the thing, but I think that team's better.
They have a better roster. I think Embiid's better than Tatum, and in the NBA, it matters about the core guy. Who's the core guy on both teams? Tatum, Embiid. Who do you take? Embiid? I think Embiid's a. I don't know, man. I think Embiid's gonna get it done. I really do. I'm so delusional on the Sixers right now. I'm locked in on the Sixers right now. I think they're getting it done.
Yeah, I mean, this could be the year they lose in the finals because they're
It
they're
could
yet
be.
to they're yet to get second place. All the Philly teams love getting second, and they're the one team that haven't. So
It's their turn this year, I guess. But let's keep rolling on with it. We got the Western Conference. What's going on in the West?
LeBron has activated Zero Dark 30 mode. I don't know if he actually hasn't used social media, but he did drop a triple double today to secure the 8 seed for the Lakers. So they will get that first play-in game. They will be playing the Pelicans, who they just beat. I mean, I kind of want them to win that because if they lose and end up getting the 8 seed, I'm a little worried for our Thunder.
I don't think the Thunder are gonna get it done, dude. To be honest with you, I'm like very rattled about the Thunder.
I like the Thunder. I think they need the
I
right kind of
like them. They're
matchup.
just not experienced enough, dude.
Yeah, that's why they need the right matchups. Like if they get the Pelicans in the first round, I think they can win that and then get kind of some momentum going, and then you go from there. But like running into a LeBron or Steph Curry in the first round would be a disaster.
Disaster. Especially because, like I just said, they have no experience. SGA, great player. Has he been there?
There with
No.
Canada in the FIBA World Cup.
No. The answer is no. I don't think. And again, we gave out the Thunder future, this and that, and it was a great pick. I think they have no shot.
It's really scary because besides the Pelicans, the play-in teams are the Lakers, and then the other play-ins, the 3 versus 6 matchup from last year, the Kings and the Warriors. So all of them are kind of rattling first round matchup. It's
Thunder
not
have no.
great.
The Thunder have no shot. Great pick because they got there, but you don't get paid out on a great pick. You get paid out on
Yeah.
it anyway. So that's the bottom line there. But if I had to give a pick, dude, and it's wild because I always go back to like underseeded this, underseeded that. The Lakers and Warriors are pretty underseeded, no?
Yeah, I mean they're just not that good though. The Lakers I think are a little better than the Warriors, but not by much.
Warriors Nuggets or Lakers Nuggets? Who do you got?
And well, whoever gets the 7 is fucked because the Nuggets are gonna win the first round. I think if you're in the West, you want that 8 seed.
So basically you're saying both teams are losing to the Nuggets.
Yeah, probably in a sweep.
In a sweep?
The Nuggets are just so good.
The Nuggets are good. So what? So you're essentially saying the Nuggets are going to win it all.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they might. They might. But I think the Warriors have a better shot than the Lakers do against them.
Maybe I don't know. The Lakers, when the Lakers are on, they're really good. Like when
If
LeBron's playing his best and Anthony Davis is not hurt and he's actually trying on defense and Reeves and Dinwiddie are playing well and Rui's playing good defense. They're a good team.
they are a good team, but they're also 10th in the West.
Yeah, they won the play-in or the midseason tournament.
Yeah, they did. Remember that all that back and forth we had going on about who's going to win the plan? Nobody even talks about the plan anymore
Nope.
because nobody cares. But either way, all right. Finals prediction. Who do you got? I know we gave it out on the last show, but who do you got now that you're more locked in with the NBA? You actually have the season's like painted out now.
Yeah, we have a bracket now, so we can kind of see the matchups and everyone's path.
Exactly.
I'll go. So my brain pick, I'll go with the Nuggets against the Celtics. I'll keep it simple, and the Nuggets winning it. With my chaos, what I want for my heart, I'll say Thunder, and I will go with the Magic making a run out of the East, and the Thunder beating the Magic.
The Sixers just blew out the Magic.
I said my heart. I said my heart pick for a reason.
No way that's happening. There's
The,
absolutely no way.
the Magic admin TikToks would go crazy for a finals run.
Go nuts. Would go nuts. But I don't think that's happening. If I had to give one out, dude, I would say it's hard. It's hard to pick against the Nuggets. It's so hard to pick against the Nuggets. So I'll go to the Nuggets in the West. Hart, Sixers, but realistically, I think the Bucks are getting to the finals.
After all the shit talk we've done on Doc Rivers, he's gonna get it done.
Glenn Rivers does not know how to coach a team in the playoffs. That is his biggest issue. He has no idea how to coach a team in the playoffs, and he's just not going to get it done, dude. He's not going to get it done.
Yeah, I don't think we even need the stipulation in the playoffs. He might just not know how to coach a team. He might just be a nice guy that gets along with NBA stars.
Most guy gets along with the players, but he's not going to get it done. Not only in the postseason, he's just not a guy who can get it done. Regardless, we saw mid-season. What was he saying? Teams have to travel back to back. This, that, and the third. It's like, bro, everybody plays it back to back.
Yeah, he's just he's an excuse, man. That's what he is.
An excuse, man.
It's a walking excuse.
This is bottom line. Excuse, man.
I will give you one. I know you love to say, which with good authority, that the NBA regular season doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
But the Pacers did go 4-1 against the Bucks in the regular season. And Tyrese Halliburton did drop 27 and 11. He averaged that in 5 games. So he has done well against Dame in that backcourt. So just something to keep an eye on in that first round.
Something to keep an eye on for sure, but I think you said 4-1. I think that's series right there for the Bucks. They win 4-1.
Yeah, I can see that. But going back to the midseason tournament, the runner-up Pacers. The Buddy Hieldless runner-up Pacers now. Buddy Hield is on Philly now.
Yeah, he's on Philly, and that's exactly why I think the Sixers are winning it all. Nobody even talks about Buddy Hield on the Sixers. I honestly, I'm just glad you brought that up because the first thing I said was like Kelly Oubre, and then I went to Nick Batum. Nobody talks about Kelly Oubre or Buddy Hield.
He actually hasn't tweeted from his burner in a while too. He must be pretty happy in Philly.
I think what you meant to say is he's pretty locked in.
I mean, the other series we didn't really cover, the Clippers playing the Mavericks in the first round, but I don't see either of those teams doing much.
Well, that's honestly an interesting series because I could see both teams winning that. And I think I would I want the the Mavericks to win. But Clippers might get it done, dude. A lot of people think Clippers are going to win it all.
Yeah, Clippers have the talent, and I forget what the number was, but when Harden got there, they lost like 5 in a row, and then they went on like a 15-3 run. And they've been good ever since because it was early, but they were out of the playoff picture for a while. And
they were.
Of course, they now are the 4 seed. So
what people forget, they have Kawhi, Paul George, James Harden, and then Russ running the backcourt or the second unit. So it's a pretty good team, dude.
Yeah, they have the 2K16 Dream Team. This was 5 years ago. They'd be running the league.
Running the league. But again, we see all these top guys going to this, that, and the third team. They don't get it done, dude. They don't get it done. I don't know. I'm indifferent on the Clippers because I'm not like I don't hate Paul George, but I think he's a fraud.
I like Paul George. I think I like Paul George.
I don't hate him. I just think he's fraudulent.
Oh, he's Pandemic P.
Pandemic P. That's exactly what he is. But either way, I don't know who's going to win it all. I'm locked in on the Sixers getting it done. You're obviously a Mets guy, so the Mets are going to win it all, right?
Going right over to MLB?
Yeah, we are.
I mean, I can't say I'm pessimistic right now. They've won 3 series in a row after the 0-5 start. They're up to 7-8, right behind your Phillies. I think a half game back.
The Phils are locked in.
I know I shat on the Nick Castellanos memes in our last podcast, but he did have a walk-off hit when World War III was trending on Twitter, which was honestly pretty funny. because it was happened around the same time.
He
But
he fit the narrative.
yeah, no, the Mets look good. Jose Butto actually looks like a decent MLB starting pitcher. Channeled the inner Dwight Gooden in him today. It was Doc's jersey retirement, and God proved he hated the Mets again by making it rain during Doc Gooden's speech. Build a dome, Steve. But yeah, the Mets look good.
The Mets look good. Maybe. I think Pete Alonso looks good.
Yeah, he wants that contract.
He wants that contract bad, dude. He's starting to play great baseball. Are the Mets going to re-sign him?
I think they will. I don't see any reason they don't. He wants to be there. He saw Doc's speech today. He'll see Daryl Strawberry's speech in a couple months about how they love being a Met and all this stuff, and he'll get locked in, and he's going to be a Met for life. And people are starting to turn on Scott Boras. Jordan Montgomery just fired him after that, so
Montgomery did fire him.
maybe Pete won't be listening to him as much as he normally would.
Yeah, but there's still so many clients who are under Scott Boras's grasp. So that's obviously really annoying because Scott Boras ruined sports.
Here's a question for you: who's worse for baseball, Scott Boras or Angel Hernandez?
Angel Hernandez. Have you seen the calls that this guy misses? It's unbelievable. And the worst part, like, right, like I understand like missing a call, whatever. Fine. You miss a call. He consistently misses calls. And how, like, I get it, like they have the union, the MLB umpire union. How does this guy still have a job?
The union. That's exactly what it is. They can't fire him. He did the Mets series the other weekend, and the pitch
Right.
com.
A couple calls there.
Yeah, Jeff McNeil was up, and the opposing catcher's pitch com broke. So of course Angel called a pitch clock violation, like he should have. He called the ball on what should have been a strike. Jeff thought it was a strike, had to ask him if it was a ball, and because he was in conversation, he was turned around, and then he went to say like, "Do I still have my timeout?" Because he wanted to call timeout, but he didn't call timeout. He just asked him, "Do I still have my time?" And then Angel goes, "Time, time, time," and Jeff turns around. He's like, "No, I wanted to ask if I had my timeout." And Jeff turns around. He's like, "This fucking guy."
Yeah, this fucking guy sucks, dude. Like, that's what I like. How do you miss that? Like, the guy's asking if he has a timeout and he calls time, but he already called time. Like, that makes no sense. I think the question you should be asking is who can ump a better game, you or Angel Hernandez?
You know, I said after my 40 debacle that I would stop kind of saying I could do to make these crazy statements, but Angel Hernandez is really fucking bad.
He's really bad.
See, I also have bad vision, so that wouldn't be great for me personally. But I don't know. I feel like it'd be hard to fuck up a game as badly as he does.
Like, I get like calling balls and strikes is obviously a very difficult thing to do. But like, dude, some of these calls that guys miss, it's like you can see it on TV clear as day, but like at the same time in the stadium you can see it as clear as day. And he still misses the calls.
When the players are that adamant against it, you can kind of you gotta know, like put your ego in check and be like, yeah, I missed one. And then there was an at bat with Wyatt Langford on the Rangers the other day where it was like three sliders in the other batter's box, back to back to back, all balls, and he calls them strikes. And that's like when I think I could call a better game. Because after the first one, if I got it wrong and Wyatt was that, like, what the fuck are you doing? I'd be like, all right, I got it wrong.
You got it wrong, and then you're like, whatever, it is what it is. But he doesn't get it right.
I mean, Kyle Schwarber almost killed him a couple years ago.
In that Brewers series,
Yeah.
Josh Hader on the mound, like, and Josh Hader, he throws nasty stuff, but you got to be able to keep it in the zone. And Hader was not throwing it in the zone at all. Missed a couple calls, and then the last one was brutal. It was so far outside. The other thing, Angel Hernandez, the way he calls people out, he goes, I hate that windup, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's like
You know what I mean? Like where he's like,
yeah, it's like the slow robotic, like he's pulling a fucking like truck horn.
slot machine.
Yeah, or a slot machine.
It's like, dude, like what? Like even at first base, if he gets a guy out, he's like, it's like, dude, like, what are you doing?
He wants to be the center of
You know what I'm
attention.
talking about?
Yeah, he wants to be the center of attention when he's out there. He thinks it's about him.
If anything, I would think like he would try and like play better towards like people liking him, and he still doubles down on all his bullshit.
I think he likes it. He likes being the villain. But the
He likes
problem
being
is
there.
he's incompetent. That's why he's the villain. It's not
He
like
like
anybody likes the fact he's the villain. Like no one's rooting for him to be the villain.
he likes being the villain, but he like plays into it more,
Yeah.
which is the worst part.
Yeah, because nobody's rooting for him to do that. You talk about Bryce Harper wearing the old jersey.
The what?
He wore last year's jersey because he hates his new one.
What? Wait, hold on. I didn't even see this story.
Yeah, Harper wore one of his older jerseys and someone caught it and like they filmed him. He was on second base and it's clearly has like the big Harper lettering and not like the cheap new one. So he just
Wait, so in the game, what, today or the other day,
yeah, the other day.
he wore the jersey from last year.
Yeah, last year or like a couple years
How's nobody
before.
talking about this?
But I saw one tweet about it and I don't know. I guess people didn't want to narc on him, so they kept it low key.
Yeah, nobody knocked on him at all, dude. You're the first guy telling me about it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was pretty clear because you can really tell the difference, especially with the
Well, yeah,
lettering.
obviously you can tell the difference on the and like the lettering in the back of the jersey, but that's
Let me,
unbelievable.
yeah, let me see if I can find the tweet for you. Yeah, there you go.
Was it like the pure white jerseys or was it the cream?
The cream.
The creams. So he wore the cream jersey from last year.
Yep. With
That's
the
awesome.
with the good lettering and yeah.
Do you blame him?
No, not at all.
You
It
probably
looks
wish
better.
Ronaldo was doing that.
I mean,
Okay.
every player should be doing it. I mean, can they? If they all do it, they can't find them all. I mean, I guess they could, but then they're gonna look like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, you can't find them all. Dude, Harper, what a guy, dude.
Yeah.
Something off like that. How did I mean I understand Rob Manfred doesn't give a fuck about the MLB, clearly. But like how does nobody catch that?
The execs probably don't even have Twitter, and they didn't even see the tweets about it. And they were probably staying in Secaucus, so they couldn't watch the Phillies game because it was blacked out on MLB TV. So they didn't even see it.
I think that's exactly what it is, dude. Nobody saw it. I don't know. I think that's like should be a way bigger story than you telling me for the first time that's like as a Phillies fan, I didn't even know that. Just think about the NFL. Like in the NFL, if you wear like the wrong socks, you're getting fined.
Yeah.
And Harper just got away with it.
Yeah, what Odell wore the breast cancer awareness cleats and when it wasn't the month of October and he got fined for it.
He got fined. Yeah, Roger Goodell has a better grip on his league than Manfred does.
He's letting a team move because they don't spend money to Sacramento to a stadium with under 15,000 fans, so they're going to make even less money. The league makes no sense, and we could talk about the A's for days. That team.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because where are the A's moving to Sacramento? And
Yeah,
then what stadium are they playing in? Is it a AAA stadium or is the stadium not built yet?
whatever AAA stadium Sacramento has. I don't think they're building a new one. That would be an extreme waste of resources if they built a new one.
Extreme waste because the A's would probably have to pay for that because there's no way the taxpayers would. If you've seen our recent clip, Kansas City isn't paying for the Chiefs or the Royals to have stadium upgrades. So I highly doubt that the A's fans are paying for them to build a new stadium outside of Oakland to get a new stadium there.
Kansas City, bad sports town, but yeah, there's no fucking chance. Sacramento, citizens are going to pay for a 15,000 seat stadium to watch the Oakland A's that are moving to become the Las Vegas A's play for 2 years.
That the mayor of Las Vegas doesn't even want them there.
Yeah, and while we're on Kansas City, I saw some Royals fans complaining about the umpiring today. Shut the fuck up. You won the World Series in 2015. You had that. I don't care. I've been through this before with these kind of teams. Your team's not good enough to make the playoffs. Stop crying about April games. It's not going to matter. Just be happy you have the Chiefs.
Brian, you said they won in 2015. Who did they beat in 2015?
Yeah, no, that's why I had to specify they won in 2015.
Who did they beat?
I don't need to say. People know. And if they don't, they'll look it up and they'll understand why you're laughing.
I won't say it because they didn't beat my team, but the Royals did win in 2015. Drop in the comments below who won in 2015. Was it the Royals or was it the team they played?
Bo Nix was not invited to the NFL draft.
Do you have to get invited to that?
I guess so. Yeah, the former Oregon Ducks quarterback, I love how they don't say Auburn quarterback, was not among the 13 prospects invited and confirmed to attend the live ceremonies on April 25th.
Well, I
Huh.
mean, his most recent team was the Oregon Ducks,
They
but
said former. So you think he's played for both Auburn and Oregon. So would you say former like
he
that?
was the most prolific at Oregon.
Yeah, I guess.
So I
But
think that
he played for both.
he
I
did
think
play
when you
for.
think of Bo Nix, you think of him as Auburn and Oregon.
Well, maybe they had a character limit.
I think if anything, they'd want more characters on a blog post. Get that extra word count in.
Maybe I don't know, man. I just think he was the most prolific at Oregon, and
And he's kind of like when you
where
think
he
of Jalen Hurts, it's like
was.
Oklahoma, or it's when Jalen Hurts, it's like Alabama and Oklahoma. I think Bo Nix is kind of the same thing, where it's like Auburn and Oregon.
But all Bo Nix has his claim to fame as an Auburn quarterback was when I was there and witness Bo Nix win a damn football game.
Yeah, he also beat Justin Herbert. People forget that.
Yeah, what was that? A bowl game?
That was his first start ever.
It
It
was
was like one
oh
of those neutral site, like preseason.
yeah, yeah, I remember that. But his at least for me, and again, I was there, I witnessed it live, was Bo Nix beating Auburn in that crazy
Alabama. Yeah.
45-42, or yeah, beating Alabama. My bad. Missed that one. But either way, Bo Nix beating Alabama in a football game, that's what I remember him from at Auburn.
Yeah. I mean, he was there for,
Other than that, like I remember the guy from Oregon more than I remember him at Auburn.
I don't know. I think I'm just saying like Auburn was enough where I think you put him in when you say former, I think you say Auburn and Oregon. But that's eh, either way, the story is he's not invited to the NFL draft,
No, he didn't get invited to the NFL draft.
which is
Why?
kind of crazy.
We don't know.
He might be a first round pick. He probably will be a first round pick.
Probably will be a first round pick.
They're just not going to have him there.
I thought he was going to be a top 20 pick.
Yeah, he could be, depending on. Yeah, at this rate, you got to think May, Williams, McCarthy, and Daniels will all go top 10. And then he's got to be the next quarterback, right? Unless it's our guy, Penix,
I don't know how Bo Nix doesn't go before Drake May
or JJ McCarthy.
or JJ McCarthy. And JJ McCarthy's going to go before both of those guys.
Yeah, McCarthy might be a top 3 pick.
He's probably going to be like, it's going to be who's the LSU? It's Jaden Daniels, the LSU guy. Obviously, Caleb Williams is first off the list. Then Jaden Daniels. Then JJ McCarthy. How? Just because he got to the finals?
Yeah, and he has good tools, but he hasn't showed those tools at all.
I think JJ McCarthy is like, and again, a lot of people disagree with me. I think he's the same exact thing as Desmond Ritter.
I can see that.
And a lot of people disagree with me on that. And that's fair.
He
But
played.
at
I
least
mean,
let it play out before you rebuttal me on that.
yeah, he played a much better competition than Ritter did.
Yeah, but we've seen Ritter in the NFL.
Well, yeah.
And
No, I'm saying in college, like Ritter was playing in the AAC, and
yeah, but
McCarthy was.
yeah. Either way, the eyes don't lie. And that's the way I see it. And JJ McCarthy is not going to be him in the NFL.
Yeah, I agree with you on that take.
He's
Our,
going to be horrible.
our guy Rome got invited to the draft. He might go in the first round.
How do you get invited? Like, can I get invited to the draft? Like, what? Like, how do you get fucking invited? Like, what does that even mean?
I thought they normally invited like 30 something guys.
What do you get an email and it's like you've been invited to the
I
NFL
guess probably a call.
draft? Like, how do you get invited?
Knock on the door like they do for the Hall of
Like
Fame.
a wedding invite, you get a letter in the mail. Like,
You got RSVP.
yeah, you got to RSVP and make sure they save a table for you.
Yeah, they only invited 13 guys. So that's not even half the first round. So half the first round is just going to be them announcing a name with nobody shaking Roger's hand. That seems really low.
That's barely the top 10.
That seems egregiously low.
That seemed very low. I
I
don't know
guess
how you, like I said, I don't even know how you get invited, but
it is in Detroit this year, so maybe there's like a safety issue.
well, where's Detroit Stadium? Is it close or like is it in downtown Detroit or is it like
Yeah, I think Ford Field's pretty down there. But they'll probably do it at
you're
like
like
a
a Fox Ford camera or a Fox camera Ford Field guy, dude? You should know exactly where that stadium is.
it's across from the Little Caesars Arena. I think it's Little Caesars.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is where the Pistons play. What a shit show city, dude.
It is. You see their new sign they have?
Isn't Detroit just like the worst sports city in America?
I mean,
That's a great question. What's the worst sports city in America?
well,
Not talking about like insufferable. Like obviously, a lot of people will be like, "Oh, Philly, the fans are insufferable." Philly's a great sports town. New York's a great sports town. LA is not a great sports town. They have a great market, not a great sports town.
yeah,
But what's
they have enough like people that win though, where I don't think you can put them at the bottom.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what is like, you know what I mean when I say Detroit. Like, what is the worst? Just like this town sucks. Like, just because of the sports are so bad. Like the fans are weird. Like that whole thing.
You might be on it with Detroit. 'Cause 'cause everywhere in the Northeast, you're pretty good.
Like the Tigers. Like
Tampa,
Tampa's not great, but
they just have the baseball though. Or no, they have the Bucks. Yeah, they're not great.
and the thing is with Tampa, the Rays play in St. Petersburg, which is a completely different city than Tampa Bay. Like,
Actually, Miami's the worst by far.
it's got to be Miami, right?
Yeah, but you can't even really blame the people because why are you going to go watch a game in Miami? If you live in Miami, you're not going to go to a
You're gonna
game.
watch. Is it Miami though?
I mean, no one goes to the Dolphins games. No one goes to the Marlins games. I guess the Heat have the Heat culture thing, so maybe not. Maybe the Heat are like, yeah, maybe Miami was bad.
The Heat are their saving grace.
Yeah,
Los Heat. Los Mets.
the um the City
Where
Connect
have
jerseys.
those jerseys been? Where are the Los Mets jerseys been?
Yeah, they'll come out for the Puerto Rican Heritage Night, whenever that is.
Where's the Los Mets jerseys?
The Mets City Connect jerseys are coming out on Friday.
They'll
So those
probably
will
be
be
better than
interesting.
the Phillies.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be purple in honor of the 7 line.
Purple?
Yeah,
Good lord.
yeah. The City Connect campaign. I didn't think a Jersey campaign could be worse than the Color Rush. This is worse than the Color Rush.
If anything, it makes the color rush look awesome.
Yeah, those mustard Jacksonville Jaguars jerseys look incredible compared to all these City Connect jerseys.
Look awesome. That's right. I wish Jack was on right now to defend the color rush jerseys because those Jaguars jerseys were great.
Yeah, I'm sure he even. I'm no, I'd take that back. I'm sure he loved those. He loved the mustard jerseys. But yeah, most
But
Mets
no,
jerseys will be back.
either way, I know we've gone down a long rabbit hole. Worst sports city in America.
I think you had it right with Detroit.
Detroit, right? Because
Yeah,
the next closest city is Chicago.
Chicago's a good town.
Chicago's a great sports town, and then you can say, okay, well, what else is out there? Maybe Milwaukee, but then you have the Bucks,
Yeah, Milwaukee's a good one. They love the Brewers. Those
Minnesota.
those Midwest towns, they love them because it's so cold. There's nothing to do up there. They just go to a game.
What about Minnesota?
No, yeah, Minnesota's big. They're the Vikings are the Colt. The fucking blowing the horn and the skull and all that shit.
Yeah, I always talk about the SEC being a cult. Minnesota's a fucking cult, dude.
Yeah. And they love their hockey up there too.
Yeah, they do. That's the thing. Hockey gets so like swept under the rug. Like hockey is definitely keeps all those towns together.
Yeah. Are there any like I keep going Kansas City, but like anything around there? I mean, St.
Yeah,
Louis is a great sports town.
I keep bringing it to like the Midwest or like the mid of America, and like I'm trying to think, dude. I don't know if
Maybe
I
you could
have.
say Vegas, but they just have the Golden Knights right now and the Aces.
Yeah, but Vegas, I don't even count, dude.
Yeah.
You can't even like count Vegas.
Texas is all erect about their sports. Oh,
Oh yeah, we know about you're a big Texas A&M guy. You're a
It,
big A&M guy.
Atlanta and New Orleans are both pretty good sports towns.
Although the Pelicans is a weird name.
Yeah, but they're just the Saints. They don't give a shit about the Pelicans, but the Saints put them over the edge enough.
Yeah, the Saints run that.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
everything
I
else down there,
I
like,
think I was right with Detroit.
oh no, I got it. Charlotte.
Yep, low key. Yeah, it's like who cares about the Panthers? Who cares about the Hornets? Oh, well, I guess the Hurricanes, but
Yeah, no
nobody
one
cares
cares.
about them either. Everybody cares about NASCAR in Charlotte.
Yep.
That's all it is. So you were able to dig up the actual worst sports town in America. Can we pin it as Charlotte?
I think Charlotte's our winner.
Let us know in the comments below. What's the worst sports town in America? And we're not talking about insufferable. I understand Philly is insufferable. What is like the worst nobody cares sports town? I think I think that's a great pull right there.
Yeah, I think we might have to do this as a question of the day on Twitter too. And
Yeah. This is a great question right here.
it honestly my where I'm at right now, DC is a pretty bad one too.
DC is horrible.
So there's
All
a
you guys
few.
all you have is the Capitals.
Yeah, but they love the Capitals, so that's like the saving grace.
That's
But
like the saving grace. Like nobody cares about the Nats. Even when they won it all, like
nobody cares.
nobody cares.
An attitude.
An attitude, like, come on. Really? The Redskins don't even play, or sorry, the Commanders don't even play in DC.
They're the Washington Commanders that practice in Virginia and play their football games in Maryland.
That is ridiculous.
It makes no sense.
And you're a huge DC guy, dude.
Yeah, well, I have to be. I live here.
Yeah, you're a Capitals fan. Let us know in the comments below. Is Brian a fraud for being a Capitals fan? I'll put it this way. Brian would rather have DC local news and Capitals on his YouTube TV
Yeah,
over Philly.
I don't like any of the Philly teams.
Why would you like any of the DC teams?
I live here. I like them more than I do the Philly teams.
Hey, you want to watch the Wizards 15 win season?
Yeah.
even Jordan Poole saying it's unenjoyable. Myers just sent me a bet slip that said, "How does this lose?" And the first thing is Josh Naylor AL MVP.
Jesus Christ. What do you mean, how does that lose?
I think that's a good debate, though. Like, who is going to win the AL or AL NL MVP?
Yeah, I guess Otani's not a lock anymore because he's not pitching.
No, I don't think Otani's a lock at all for the NL.
Um, hmm.
And DeGrom's gone as well. DeGrom's in the AL. Guy barely even plays anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Betts is a good bet for the NL MVP. There's really not many. Acuna probably is your front runner.
Acuna for the National League.
In the AL, you have Judge, Soto, maybe
Dude,
Adley
honestly,
Rutschman.
like, I think Altuve right now.
It's so
Altuve,
early.
it is so early. That's why I got to make a pick, dude. Look, when we gave out the Thunder, were we saying it's so early?
No.
No, no, we weren't.
All right, fair. I'll give you Adley Rutschman for the AL MVP. I'm feeling it.
I think that's a sneaky play.
He might not hit
Like,
enough home runs, but
I think that's a very sneaky play. And that's honestly like, I think that's a great question. Like, who is going to win the AL MVP? I think that's a great question right now.
yeah. Yeah, without Otani, it really just opens it up.
Opens it up, and there's nobody running away with it. Like, who's going to win it? I don't know. That's why we're asking the question. But we can give an official pick here at Views from Section 400 on who we think. Brian, Adley Rutschman, I think is a sneaky pull. I think a lot of people would lean, Jackson Holiday. But how's he been? He hasn't been anything special since he's gotten into the league.
I think he just got his first hit today, actually.
Did he? So what was he, like 0 for 8?
0 for 11.
Oh.
Yeah, he got his first hit. He's hitting 067.
You seem to have that memorized.
I just looked it up. 1 for 15.
Wasn't he about to get picked by the Mets?
I don't think so. If he was the one, there's no way.
He was the first pick. I think he was the first pick.
Yeah, he was.
He was the first pick. I don't know. I was just trying to do a Mets stick right there.
Still a miracle the Mets didn't draft Jose Hernandez. He got drafted right after Brandon Nimmo got drafted, and that was a big lull Mets moment until, of course, Jose, may he rest in peace. But worked out for the Mets.
I mean, that's one way to put it. Definitely worked out for him, I guess.
And Nimmo's a good player.
Nimmo is a good player. But the Mets just aren't a good team.
They could be. They'll get there.
When?
When Max Kranick comes back.
How's Brett Beatty doing?
Well, he might be their best hitter right now.
I saw you picked him up on fantasy.
Yeah, he's hitting like 350.
Still early.
Very early. But right now, he asked me how he's doing now, and right now he's doing well. It's supposed to be the Masters podcast, and it's just turned into the Fuck the Mets podcast.
It turned into a Fuck the Mets podcast. But I mean, it would have been way more electric if Max Homa won the Masters, but he didn't.
He really let us down today. All the homosexuals down.
All the homosexuals.
I mean, maybe some homosexuals too. There'd be some homosexuals that are homosexuals as well.
But dude, we were like having like when I was texting you earlier, like I really thought Homa was gonna get it done.
After whatever birdie, the early birdie he had.
When did it fall apart, dude? Because like he was right there. It was like -7, -6. Like he was right there.
Yeah, he had the eagle look, and he just came up a little short, and then he birdied that. And I think he had a chance for a birdie on the next hole, and he fucked it up. And then he had the par save that he missed, and then it just kind of went downhill.
Kind of fell apart. And it wasn't even that he like. I mean, he did fall apart a bit, but Scotty ran away with it.
Yeah, Scotty, it's just Homa played well, but he needed a couple of those putts to go. Like if he would have hit that eagle putt, it would have been a whole different.
That would have been huge.
He would have had the lead, or he would have been tied with Scotty, and then that's like a huge like.
Yeah. Tiger Woods nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think he shot 15 over. That's what he finished at. Him
Is
and
that
John
what-
Rahm.
That needs to be talked about more. What happened? I mean, that guy was third favorite to win the fucking tournament.
He gonna hit a putt. He just forgot how to putt.
He shot like 15 over, dude.
I think he had one
Forgot how to
day.
shoot.
He shot. I think he finished 10 over, 10 over or 9 over. But he,
Either way, he was way over par. I'll put it this way: he was finishing up on hole 18 at like 2 o'clock,
mhm.
which means you're nowhere to be found. I think the final pairing started at 2:45.
Yeah, they didn't show Homa's first two tee shots because they were showing John Rahm shoot for birdie at a +9 on the 17th hole. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Ridiculous. CBS, you got to figure that out. We do not need to see that at all. We don't need to see John Rahm when he's +9. I understand he's a big figure, but he was not there at the end or anywhere close for that matter to be anywhere shown on TV. I understand, show him a little bit. There was too much John Rahm coverage.
It makes no sense too because I feel like last year at least they were showing less of the live guys. So you would think, especially with Rahm, with very recently moving over, you would think they wouldn't show him as much, but they were loving him.
Loving him. The views from section 400. Michael of the week presented by. I wish we had the sponsor to present it by, but it's the Michael of the week by views from section 400. Nonetheless, Brian, who's the Michael of the week, dude?
Yeah, before I give you that, we'll say it's presented by our NFL Draft live show coming up in a couple weeks on the YouTube. So subscribe so you get to see that one.
I was waiting for you to plug that.
My Michael of the week will actually be what we just talked about. It's the CBS broadcast for the Masters. It was absolutely horrendous. Way too many commercials, horrible coverage. We barely saw Max Homa until it was too late. Thank God for the Masters app because that's what I was on. I hate that I had to turn off the lovely voice of Jim Nantz, but I would much rather just watch the Masters app when I know who I'm going to be seeing than guessing if I'm going to see a commercial for Gillette or John Rahm go for birdie when he's at +7 on the day.
When he has no shot of even coming close to winning. He has no shot to even going even, let alone winning the tournament.
Yeah, like he's in 40th place. It's not like there's even people with money on the line. Like maybe you can make the case there. Like people want to see if he can hit his round score.
Like, oh, yeah.
But like, yeah, it was horrible. And I hate that I had to do it to Jim Nantz. I hate that I had to do it to Vern Lundquist in his last Masters, but I had to.
It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. We can't change it. The only thing that would have made that Masters broadcast on CBS, and I think you'll get a kick out of this, is if for some reason they just looped in Gene's territory. Wouldn't that have just been hilarious?
If that would have made me feel a lot better
if
when
they
Max,
just looped him in and like we're gonna like Gene just came in.
if,
that would have been unbelievable.
On Max's shot when he went in the bushes, if Gene would have come in and been like, "Hey, he's gonna play it from the."
Actually, it's still in bounds.
That would have made me feel so much better.
Can you tell me that would not have been a great?
You know, he's definitely some kind of rules official at his local country club too. Like, probably has credentials.
Oh, 100% has credentials. But you can't tell me that would not have been awesome if they just like magically loop Gene in. Because they find a way to loop him into everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
he's a March Madness guy.
He's their lead March Madness guy.
He officiated March Madness Final Fours.
Yeah, that man really lives the life. He's still living the life. Just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they somehow find out a way to loop him in to the Masters broadcast, would have made my weekend.
yeah.
My Michael of the week. You ready for it, Brian?
All right.
Michael of the week. What I don't understand, what I really don't understand, is how bad. I don't have a Michael of the week, dude.
Michael of the week is you forgetting to do a Michael of the week.
My Michael of the week is I don't have a Michael of the week. Well, it was going to be the Phillies uniforms, but that's more of a loser of the week. But it is also like I could be shocked how bad it is, but I'd rather save that for the loser of the week because I was at the game on Thursday or Friday, and I seen him, and I was like, "Where do you get this color from? How do you do?" And not only that, and I'm from Philadelphia. Who all these people from Philly who bought the jersey. I was there on Friday night, and these people bought the jersey, bought the hat. Like, why? Why? There's no reason to have that. No reason at all. The jersey's bad. The colors are bad. I understand. Like, we just talked about the color rush. I would take the mustard brown over what they threw out on Friday.
And the City Connect jerseys are very bad. Yeah. I mean, we'll see how the Mets look on Friday too. That could
Well,
be
yeah. Is that when they're debuting them on Friday?
it could be my Michael of the week in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that. Stay tuned for next week when Brian drops his Michael of the Week Mets jerseys. I think that's a good way to wrap up the show.
Yep.
What color are the Mets City Connect jerseys going to be? Do we have a color? Did they release one?
It's gonna be some version of purple.
Is that what they said, or are you just guessing?
They released a promo video and the orange NY turned to purple.
Why purple, dude?
The 7-line logo is purple.
Why?
Why is the 7-line logo purple, or why is that
Why is that the color they're going with?
it connects to the city, I guess. That's how you get to the game.
Okay, so why is the Phillies blue and yellow?
That I don't know. I think that's something to do with the Philadelphia flag, from what I saw on Twitter.
I don't know, dude.
But that sounds lame as hell.
I think they could be way better.
I guess the Liberty Bell's gold, right?
Yeah,
But the blue doesn't make sense.
it was yellow though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. Either way, we'll see what the Mets throw out. What's it, Friday night?
Yeah, they'll debut him like because they take the BP and do the media, so it'll be Friday midday.
It would be even better if the Friday game they debuted it was who do they play on Friday?
I don't know. They have the Pirates this week. I don't know who they have this weekend.
Whoever they play on Friday would be way
Oh,
better.
it might be the Dodgers.
Well, that would make sense. At least a good game debut. Yeah, like the
Yeah,
Phillies.
it's the Dodgers.
The Phillies debuted it against the fucking Pirates.
Wait, they're on the road. They're in LA. Why are they doing it on the road?
What?
This doesn't make any sense.
That's even worse. Are they debuting?
Wait, let me make sure this is
Are
actually
you
Friday.
sure it's this Friday?
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's tomorrow.
That would. Oh my god. That would be even worse if they do it on. No, there's no chance they can do it on the road.
Here we go. 4/19/24. Yeah, that's on the road.
What? What?
That doesn't make
That
any
makes
sense.
no sense. No sense. The City Connect jersey.
Oh, maybe they're not wearing them. They're just like releasing what they look like.
So you don't know when they're actually wearing jerseys.
Maybe this is just when they release what they look like. But why would they do that when they don't wear them?
Dude, the Mets are diabolical.
It's the campaign. It's the fucking City Connects. It's not the Mets.
All the teams are doing it at home.
Yeah, but the Phillies debuted theirs before they wore them, right?
No, the Phillies did theirs on Friday.
Yeah, but they
At
showed what they
home.
look like, right? I don't know.
Yeah, they show what they look like a couple days before, but
Yeah, so they're
they
probably showing what they look like, and then they're probably home on
they're
Monday or
showing
something.
what if the Mets are in the City Connect jersey on
Wait,
Friday.
yeah, I don't know why they're doing it Friday because then they're on a West Coast trip until April 26th. They play the Giants
Yeah,
after the Dodgers.
probably for a while. Like there's probably a couple series out there on the West Coast.
Yeah, they play 4 against the Giants after they play the Dodgers. So it just
They play the A's at all or no?
no.
No A's. I really wanted JD Davis to have a huge series against the Mets.
They probably play him at some point because everyone plays everybody now. Great job,
And you know
Rob.
JD Davis is gonna go off.
Oh, he's definitely going to go off. A lot of 877 runs now.
That was a great promo for them, by the way.
It was a random fan calling in WFAN.
Call JD Davis. 877 runs now. Either way, we'll see what jerseys the Mets wear on Friday. I think it's going to be the City Connect jerseys if you're so confident about them. Or you what? You think they're going to release them on Friday or you think they're going to be wearing them?
Well, they're definitely releasing on Friday, but it doesn't make sense to wear them on the road, which is why it's weird. But I don't know.
Yeah. There's no shot because it's City Connect. You don't wear that on the road.
Yeah.
So either way, I understand. Mets are horrible.
All right, let's wrap this up before any other shots get fired at the Mets. This is supposed to be the Masters podcast. It's turned into the Mets podcast.
But either way, that's it. The Views from Section 400 podcast. Brian and I, uninterrupted sports conversation for the whole show. We hate the Mets. Brian loves the Mets. But it's Views from Section 400. You're getting the common take from the common man up there in Section 400. I'm Matt. Brian always tunes in for my bullshit all the time.
You are now in the
Let's go
mix.
Sixers.
Savage.
Embiid, get it done.
Thunder in 3.